Hello, and welcome to The Beat, a news and talk program produced by the Center for Community Media at Worcester State University. I'm your host, Chris Tran, and today we'll be talking with Marcela Uribe-Jennings, Director of Multicultural Affairs. So first, can you explain to us the missions and goals of the Office of Multicultural Affairs?
The objective and the mission of the office is to create opportunities, so we call it access, retention, and graduation as the mission of the office. And the Multicultural Affairs Office title is an umbrella for a number of services that we have within the office to encourage what we call pipeline programs, which are high school programs that work with Worcester Public School students, as well as programs that help the retention of students at Worcester State, mostly students who are from first generation in or minority groups or low-income students. And we understand that we want to provide services that motivate, that provide access, and that encourage students to seek post-secondary education, and once we have them at Worcester State, to graduate. So there are a number of pockets within the office.
Education is very important today.
Absolutely, especially for everyone, given loan challenges, especially for first-generation students and low-income students who have to maneuver systems, who they don't have someone necessarily at home to go back to, but they have to rely on outside support to work with systems that they're not accustomed to. They don't have social capital the way other students may. So absolutely, education is the opening door for access and opportunity, right? And we hope to be able to provide that, but to also make students aware that they're investing, and nowadays loans is a real challenge.
And will you tell the audience what your job as director entails?
The office has about 5 different very distinct services or programs. Each program has a budget. Each program has a coordinator or a director or an assistant director. My job is to support the staff, to manage the budget, to represent the office on campus, to affirm and to align the philosophy of the program that is aligned with the mission of the college. And most of all, to make sure that we are providing the services that we aim to do. Oftentimes, some of these programs are run with grants, outside grants, and so we have to make sure that we are aligning our services with the money that's given to us. And most of all, make sure that we're working with people to move them forward. So I do a little bit, most of my work is committee work, managing the office in terms of, like I said, human resource, and helping our own staff to develop and making sure that our students are getting the services that we said we are going to provide.
And a moment ago, you just said that you're working with other people to help students get into the college. What type of other people do you work with?
So you mean in terms of who we service?
Yes.
The focus is first generation students, and Worcester State has a high number of high generation students. We focus our pipeline programs on Worcester Public Schools. And what I mean by pipeline, we have programs like Upward Bound, 100 Mil to College. These programs are really earmarked because demographically we have seen the population, for example, in Upward Bound are students, again, from first generation low income or minority backgrounds. And whenever you have an urban experience, making the leap to post-secondary education, it's difficult. So we're there to support that. But the focus is those categories, first generation, low income, Atlanta students. We service all students with different experiences, but that's the focus. Each program, for example, 100 Meals to College, will focus on 100 meals. However, it's open to all students. So if we have some females that want to join us, we will service them. But the curriculum will focus on delivering those pieces. Upward Bound is a high school program. We service students from the freshman year to their senior year, and we do workshops to prepare them for college, financial aid, application. And then most applicable to Worcester State, we work with Alternative for Individual Development, which is the bridge program for Worcester State. And these are students who are coming to Worcester State who come to a summer program in preparation for their first academic year at Worcester State. Beyond that, we do a lot of multicultural programming, and that serves to really create a climate to welcome students who are from first generation, to welcome students that are from a different experience. We provide that for all students, but especially this allows the office to provide multicultural programming as a way of leadership, because a lot of the programming that is done through Third World Alliance, a student organization. And Third World Alliance really serves as the social leadership of the office, because most of us know that a co-curriculum experience will bring the best out of a college experience. So it's not just what happens in the classroom, it's what happens outside of the classroom, like this. And so those pieces are very important. So yeah, and we are really the voice in many committees when it comes to servicing that population.
So, what exactly led you to being the director for the Office of Multicultural Affairs?
So I am actually, we have a philosophy of attempting to grow our own, which is a real plus. I'm a graduate of Worcester State, both under my undergraduate and graduate. I participated in the program myself. I had arrived in the United States in high school, my junior year, and then I applied to several colleges. I ended up here at Worcester State, and being a first generation immigrant, English as a second language, low income, so I kind of met all the categories. I came into the office knowing that this was my place to belong, and truly the services are so holistic that true not for the program, I probably would not have graduated. It was very encompassing in terms of what I needed, in terms of systems, knowing that I could go someplace that someone would understand what I was struggling with. So that's my base. I'm really giving back what has been given to me. I also came from an experience where I left my country under political circumstances. So all of my experience have kind of led me to this kind of work, because I strongly believe in access and opportunity. But when that sounds kind of generalized, truth be told, is in the action of every day and how we present that. So the work that I do is dear to my heart, because I'm really giving back to what was given to me.
You know, it's great to know that you're giving back to, to the schools and to the students and making sure that they have the same opportunities that you had when you came here and everything.
Absolutely. Although times have changed at Worcester State, and have definitely changed in the nation, Worcester State has made strides to support first-generation students and minority students. As you know, we have a lot of conversations on campus about climate. I think that we endeavor to service all students. We also have to know demographically how things are changing. And I do know that we have changed. I know that we're highly supported by the administration. This is really like my second home, because all the staff that we have in the office are either people who have received services or who are dedicated to that support. And really, truly, all of Worcester State. I mean, Worcester State is, it serves Worcester Public Schools. It services the regional area, but I think most folks around here understand that experience. We just have to get it to the next notch, that's all.
Mm. Now, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you been director of the office for?
Director for, I want to say about 12 years or so, and prior to that, assistant director, coordinator. I've just about done all the titles within the office, yeah.
Now, within your time as the director, has there been any programs that you feel that you've been really proud of that you've done?
That's a good question. Let's see. You know what the best reward is? I don't know that I can say it's a program. Sometimes you run into a student and they share with you that their mom or dad or somebody, that kind of tells you how long I've been around. But what's most satisfying is knowing that somebody in their family has had an opportunity to break the cycle, and that is the most rewarding piece of the work that we do. I think that knowing, for me, when you help me, you help my circle, you help my community. So when I arrived, for example, I was the translator. I was the one helping my family go to school and look at post-secondary education. And I think that's the kind of work that we can see through generations. So I run into students now whose parents were in programs earlier, in earlier decades, and they say, my parents have gone through school. Now I know that they came to Worcester State, and my cousin and my mother's sister. And you know you're helping a community. And we all talk about these greater goods, but it's actually hearing it from generation to generation that's most meaningful.
That's really amazing to hear that too.
Thank you.
Now, let me ask you this question: how can students get involved in the Office of Multicultural Affairs?
So there are very organic ways to get involved. I mean, so all students are invited to come in and participate in any one of the programs that we have. But also to be part of the leadership that provides the programming pieces, because we dedicate a lot of dollars and a lot of support and a lot of leadership. So making sure that students attend the lectures, making sure that students are part of the leadership of putting the lectures together. We often hire students to be mentors. We often run summer programs where students can come in and tutor other students, or there are all kinds of ways to get involved. It's just making sure that the students are available to do that.
So it seems like the students really do have a big part in it as well. Like
Oh,
just trying to help.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And where can the students where can they find the Multicultural Affairs office if they do want to get involved?
We're in the library building on the first floor, L136.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time, though, for coming down and everything.
My pleasure.
Thank
you.
Well, thank you for watching this segment of The Beat. Please remember to like our Facebook page at facebook.com/MediaWSU and follow us on Twitter at MediaWSU. See you next time.